Greetings! Back again. Happy New Year to all. I know. We're already well into the new year, but you know how it is. Things get busy. That being said, got something on my mind that I wanted to go over, but I wanted to do something that would be low intensity so I could get my thoughts together properly. And so I thought I'd also show off a game I recently got into called Sins of a Solar Empire 2. I did play the original, and honestly I liked it, but it was one of those games where it's like I didn't feel the urge to commit the time to it. And one of the things I love about this game is you can literally like stop anytime, even mid-battle, and just go back to it, which was a feature of the old game that I never took advantage of. I was always I had a Civ 4 syndrome. One more mission, one more turn, one more planet. With this one, I can just pause wherever and come back to the fight later. Speaking of which, let's demonstrate, because I already beat one mission, Agamon's Bounty, the Conquest. Also, one of the coolest things about this is this thing has the most insane modding support. Like, it has just insane options for modding, adding fleets, adding new stories, adding all kinds of cool stuff. It's actually pretty neat. Like stronger defense, buffs all hangars, squadrons, plus military slots, laser beams, all that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool stuff all over. Admittedly, the mods is not what I'm here to talk about today. It's cool stuff. But back to where I was. Let's go ahead and load into where I left off on the base game. And that's the Unity. Haven't played as them yet, but I'll get there. But as you can see, I was kind of in the middle of something. My boys were putting the boot into some punks who thought they could invade one of my star systems. I took offense to that. And they are getting offense up their face holes. Rather efficiently, I should add.
Item complete, Commander.
But this is a game that combines economic, base building, and fleet strategies into a surprisingly manageable system. And one of the best ways they do it is with this fleet engine over here, where you can create fleets. And you build a fleet, and then that fleet stays together at all times. And then you can disengage fleets, you can break them up, you can decommission them. But it works, and it allows you to have a fleet that you have for home defense, or a fleet that you have for, like, you know, bulldozing all over the galaxy.
Military structure complete.
But unfortunately, like, these guys thought they were gonna take my homeworld from me, and unfortunately for them, they got bushwhacked. And now I have managed to establish proper defenses around these facilities. Granted, not as much as I'd like, but enough. And I can keep building more as I need to, which is handy. But any place I put a starbase, you're basically screwed.
Military structure complete.
If I put a starbase somewhere, you're basically done. Like, this place has just insane starbase defenses. And the way it works is I can use the starbase to build small ships to cause diversions and distractions, and then I deploy larger ships as needed, or I just let the starbase whittle down my adversaries. So now, these jerkwads thought they were going to take my base from me. No. What I am going to do, however, I'm going to come back here.
Secure the passengers.
And make a jump to this place and go ahead and start conquering this system, I guess.
Item is complete and online.
But the game actually does a really good job of management of how your systems work, because it's all up here. Here's your research, here's your diplomacy, which I do not personally engage in, but hey.
Military structure complete.
And then here's your individual capital ships and star bases, which you can upgrade as you go. Now, I have made a mistake with some of these in that I haven't upgraded them with the proper systems, but I don't have the research for the item I want at the moment. So,
military research complete.
I'm going to conquer another world so I can continue on to that path.
Reporting in.
Ooh, that's right. I need to add a robotics factory on here.
Ahead slow.
Let's see, here's an enemy defense base. And while I can bombard this place, I can't destroy it as long as that thing is alive. Which means I need to bring my fleet right into its jaws and just pummel it. But anytime your systems get upgraded, you can use them to assault enemy fleets or bases, or use them for defense. Now, what I can do is I've taken charge of one of the minor factions, and I can use them to call in an assault
for your raid order.
with these guys. And they basically act as sort of backup distractions. My boys rush in, start the main assault, and then these guys drop in from the rear and start causing chaos. And now, classic pincer, I've got
What can I fix for you? Such an elegant design.
I've got an entire fleet ready to rush in there and just rip these things apart. So, anyway, that no longer being the factor here, I wanted to talk about something else. So, I don't know if anybody's been paying attention outside of the gaming community, but I think we may be seeing the end of Ubisoft.
We should take evasive action. Make it fast. Military structure
See, now his shields are down. So, Big Boy here lost its shields, but his armor is just insanity. Like, he has ridiculous class armor, so he can take a beating. Plus, I've got a repair ship ready to back him up.
Need repairs? Military structure complete.
And I'm also researching with charger drones, so that'll help. But this is your research page, showing all the research I'm currently doing.
Ready.
And as you can see, all of it's down here organized based on what's in priority. So that's my military, this is my civilian, and I need 2 more of each in order to do the next tier of research. So my forces are currently laying massive amounts of firepower into the enemy forces, slowly chewing them to ribbons and tearing them apart.
Where do you need me?
Mostly focusing on crippling the defenses. And then once we're through the defenses, my boys will come in from the rear and just shred that backside.
Military structure complete.
But anyway, as I was saying,
Be a routine
has
combat
anyone
mission.
else noticed that Ubisoft's dead or on its last legs? Because sure looks like it to me.
Comlink active.
Like, I don't mean to be cruel,
Let the
but
bidding commence.
I don't need that. My influence points are much better used in strikes and raids.
Hostile forces have arrived.
Where? Oh, are these fools at this
Good
again?
day, Commander.
Seriously, how many times does my fleet have to put you boys in the grave? One foot in the grave like Ubisoft. And see, even while these guys are fighting, I can send my crews out to do repair and update work to reinforce it. Plus, I have all these bad boys
Where's the target?
who are just here to help provide long-range fire support, while my starbase soaks up the damage and deals with the problem.
Shields are down. Standing by.
The biggest problem is fighting these things. They are the toughest opponent outside of a Titan. And a Titan's a big bad boy, so... Anyway. So the most recent reports coming in are that Ubisoft lost close to $10 billion in its overall market
You
value.
missed out.
That means, in practicality, they lost unparalleled levels of financial value. Like,
You pick 'em, I'll stick 'em.
you're talking probably lost enough money. They probably lost enough money that
Folly's got your
the
name
only
on it.
survival plan they could have at this juncture, literally speaking, is sellout. They're probably going to have to sell out to Tencent or something like that. So now I've broken the shields on this defense station, and my robot repair crew is doing their
Yes, of course.
level best to keep my fleet operational.
Military research complete.
So, if I can break through this thing's defenses, now whoever built this defensive facility made a big mistake, because one of the things they didn't do, they armed this thing heavily, but they didn't put a repair facility
Military
nearby,
structure complete.
which I always try to do, because military support structure means that this
Military
bad boy
structure complete. Comlink active.
can just
Good day, Commander.
keep healing my armies and forces while they hold the line against these guys.
Our shields are down, Commander. Yes, Commander. At once.
But yeah, see, this is a strong strike fleet, but it's never gonna last against my heavier forces. And once I get him out of the way so he can recoup and rebuild, he should draw more of them in, and they should hopefully wind up getting annihilated. So
You've got the full weight of a star base at your disposal.
alright. Oh, come on, boys. Wrap that up. Kill this thing. Anyway. So at $10 billion losses, Ubisoft is facing oblivion. And if that's the case, I doubt very heavily that there's anything they can do. Apparently they're banking heavily on the Assassin's Creed Shadows. And given the sheer horrific amount of just sheer unparalleled loss that they are suffering,
Yes.
my money's that they are not going to survive that. Even if it does decent, the odds of it surviving what's coming is highly unlikely. And it's a shame too, because
Short.
at a practical level, they could have survived. Like, they had the opportunity to try and, survive this whole mess, and they just couldn't keep their crap together. Controversies, negative publicity, sheer amount of just absolute insanity they went through. It's almost kind of disconcerting. And
Military research complete.
it's a sad thing, because there was a time I thought they were the absolute pinnacle. Like, I would have bet money that they were going to be the kings, right up there with EA and Activision. Now all three of those companies are facing horrific collapse. Activision luckily hit it big with this year's Black Ops 6, which did impressively well, all things being considered. But it didn't have enough, what's the word, survivability? Reliability? To come back from the damage. And I don't think that, they can hold out against the dump truck of bad calls and bad practices that's been just eating at them for who knows how long.
We're crippled.
Very much hope that down the road soon they're going to be either pinned or forced into a situation where they don't have any other choice. They are forced to reorganize into a different structure ASAP, because I don't feel like they're going to last long if they keep things up the way they're going. That being said, it's interesting to me because this is the same thing we saw with the movie industry, with the television
Let the
industry.
bidding commence.
They made choice after choice after choice to ignore the desires of their audience, push agendas, make bad decisions and bad marketing, and then they were shocked when it all backfired and blew up in their faces. It's like, this was entirely predictable. You could have easily avoided this fallout if you'd just been smarter about it. And I'd be the first to admit, it's wrong to blame everything on one thing or the other. Like, there's many factors that go into this. But at the end of the day, the biggest flop or the biggest failure in this whole mess has got to be that someone somewhere looked at the current situation and said, I know, let's do something absolutely mind-blowingly dumb. And, I don't know. Let's make a game set in Japan, in medieval Japan, and, I don't know, let's make one of the main characters African. Really?
No bid. You
One
missed
character
out.
barely talked about, whose entire history may have been complete fabrication,
Military
and you
research
somehow think
complete.
that's a good idea. No, that was stupid. Ubisoft knows it's stupid and has been backpedaling like a madman ever since. And I feel just there's this crushing weight of sadness on it because they know it's over. They know it's over. And they're looking at anything as a life raft. And there's been talks about them being bought out by Tencent, and apparently part of the deal is the Gulmont brothers, who are the original creators and heads of the company, want to retain control, and Tencent's like, fuck no. You dumb fuckers buried your own company in stupidity. We don't want you anywhere near it when we're done. What they really want, what Tencent really desires, is the IP. They don't care about the company. They'll probably shut it down or rebrand it. What they want is Assassin's Creed and all of those things. They want Far Cry and all of those things. Because honestly, the IP is worth more than the company at this juncture. And I don't mean that to be cruel. I mean that to be honest and realistic, because I feel like someone at this point just isn't
Military
recognizing
research
reality.
complete.
And I think like someone's got to say, look, I don't care what you say. You blew your chance. You screwed the pooch. And there is no coming back from that at this point. And if you don't get your crap together fast,
You got the full weight of a
it's gonna be
starbase at
it's
your
gonna be
disposal.
just catastrophic. So I think that's why they want the company. But I think that the other side of the reality on that is that there is no way that the company survives the onrushing apocalypse. Like, there is just no way that survives. Just like the Starbase. Who, to their credit, the Starbases are some of the toughest things you can get in the game outside of a Titan. And the Titans are just like, they're like the Death Stars of this game. Like a super powerful weapon that can do just absolutely horrific nightmare level damage.
How can I be of service?
Hostile forces have arrived.
Move into the center of that area and shred everything. Deal with the problem.
Military research complete. Our planet is under siege.
See, this is what I'm talking about. They'll send an entire army of strike forces in,
You got the full
and my
weight of a
boys
starbase
will
at your
just
disposal.
completely dismantle them. Just tear them to ribbons. Like, there's no point in sending a starbase against... there's no point in sending this little fleet against one of my
Our
starbases.
shields are down, Commander.
Because it will just decimate them.
Good day, Commander.
Alright, let's get back to my main
Reporting in.
fleet. Because the reason I want to take this planet is because if I take this planet,
Brace for combat.
I can basically use it
Hold steady. We're going in.
as a staging ground and a major resource hub, because it is, I mean, there's so much resources on there. I'm gonna have my hands full.
Structure complete.
See,
The item is ready.
the station's got so much shielding that even with all this stuff trying to rush in,
Structure complete.
they're just getting obliterated. It's kind of sad. You'd have to send something 10 times the size to actually break that defense line.
Ready for battle.
Military research complete.
Yes, Commander. At once.
We have wiped out an enemy colony. A new colony has been founded. Hostile forces have arrived.
And see, now I get to the next phase. I can actually do the next level of research on
Let
both
the
of
bidding
these.
commence.
Yeah, I don't need crystal. I have enough of it. Hostile forces have arrived. Why do they keep sending forces
Logistics upgrade complete.
against the heavily defended, massively efficient super battle station I'm currently running here? I'd call it laughable, but honestly, this is kind of funny. Alright, so I'm going to put my starbase here and go from there and see what we do. But yeah, so one of the reasons this game got me thinking about Ubisoft is there was a time Ubisoft made niche and weird titles like this. One of my favorite games is one of their Far Cry spin-offs,
Civilian structure
Blood Dragon.
complete.
They haven't made a game like
Where
that
do you need me?
in that style in a
Head
long
slow.
time because they were too focused on the bigger, more mainline Far Cry games, and they kept. And while Far Cry 5 was great,
Military
Far Cry
research
6
complete.
failed to catch on in any conceivable way. Like it was just not there, and I feel like that's kind of sad because it represents the fact that they, as a group,
No bid.
did not understand
You
what
missed out.
was there, what they had the potential to really make some real headway on.
Defense upgrade complete.
Alright, heavy defense line established, and I don't have to worry about anything coming from there because they're neutral. They're on my side. So anyone left fighting here? Nah, they retreated and fell off. Alright. Alright, so now I'm waiting on them to now here's something I can do. I can use my points to get uplinks and abilities, scout vision, or send a phase space raid. Now, the reason I don't use the phase space raid right now is that only works if I'm directly assaulting an enemy force. And directly assaulting them right now would be foolish. I don't have the firepower. So, what I'm doing now
Civilian structure complete.
is I'm building up a military force that can hold their ground against an enemy force if they attack.
Civilian
And
structure
then when
complete.
I'm ready, I'm gonna drop my forces on them like a vengeful god. Now, I don't need the heavy shipyard.
Military research complete.
What I do need is a
Defense
broadcast
upgrade
generator.
complete.
And I need these bad boys. Now, one thing I haven't gotten is the Titan, and I'll get there eventually. Yeah, and then I also need a heavy space station. But as you notice, no one's daring to come after my forces now. Because my group just beat them into absolute paste. And that's the thing. It's all about having defenses that you can work with. That'll buy you the time you need to build an armada. And then that armada, you let them loose like a pack of rabid hounds.
How can I be of service?
Planet item complete.
We're underway.
And then you just go about it. And then if you want to build a new fleet and you have the supply for it,
Research rate upgrade
which
complete.
I technically
Civilian
do,
structure complete.
but I don't want to split my forces too heavily right now. So I'm just trying my best to hold things together. But you can, if you want, split a fleet into different groups. You know,
Civilian structure
you
complete.
create a fleet of like nothing but corvettes, frigates, and other strike craft, and use them to harass and annoy people. Me, I prefer to build solid defenses and then just work my way through the enemy forces. You know, like this group right here isn't a very big group, but
I'll see to it personally.
if I want
Planet
to,
item complete.
I can relocate their defenses to the midline, which will give them way better coverage. So I'm also ruining the trade coalition's day because every time they try to jump into somewhere, I wreck them. All right, we got the battleship.
Can I do out?
We got a battleship
Civilian
ship factory
structure
there,
complete.
and we have a freshly made.
Research rate upgrade complete. Military research complete.
We have a freshly made. Ah, there you
Can I
are.
do out? You've got the full weight of a star base at your disposal.
Okay.
Civilian structure complete.
And I don't need one of those. I need one of these. I could always do with another
Civilian structure
one of
complete.
these.
Item is complete and online.
Now I'm gonna start putting defenses at each entryway. I'm gonna put a phase denier right there.
Planet
So that
item
anything that
complete.
falls into this gravity well gets immediately blocked and locked in
Let
and
the
can't
bidding
run.
commence.
It's the deep breath before the plunge, as they say, but the industry, the gaming industry right now is in a bad spot. A lot of the big companies are cratering or crumbling.
Civilian structure
A lot of the
complete.
larger companies are struggling to
Research rate
find
upgrade complete.
try and purchase. I'm gonna take this one, lock everything down. I'm worried about this group. You know what? There's a lot of firepower over there.
Military structure complete.
I got enough defenses for now. That'll hold. Where's my alpha?
How can I be of
Where's my
service?
beta strike force?
A sound plan.
Let's launch in
Civilian
and take this
structure
place and
complete.
basically take dominant control of the entire sector. And the thing is, once you take control of a sector, You can then use the jump tunnels to jump to other locations as necessary.
No bid. You missed out.
Military structure complete. Planet item complete.
Alright. And where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Wormhole navigation, okay. So
Military
yeah,
structure
once you've
complete.
got a certain amount of forces arranged and obligated to any kind of
Reporting
battle,
in.
you can basically move them into position to strike. And so the whole point of these missions, each one
Research
gives you
rig
different
upgrade
scenarios you have to
complete.
try and navigate. Some start you at an advantage, some start you at a massive disadvantage. But the whole point is, it starts with this one little sector, and then
Military structure
and then once you
complete.
get through this sector, another one will open up, and another one, and another one. Like the last one, I had to fight my way through 3 different sectors until I found the enemy homeworld, and then I leveled the homeworld from orbit with nuclear bombs.
All hands, prepare for phase
Yeah,
jump.
basically it's War Crime Simulator
Military structure
galactic
complete.
scale, but I mean, hey, if it works, it works. But yeah, I feel like the gaming industry needs to look more towards these smaller, more focused, more directed games. Stop trying to make the next Fortnite, the next big thing, because you're never going to accomplish that. And they've been made, they've been done. You can't really do that. What needs to be done, what absolutely is essential, is you need to
My forces are mobilized for your raid order.
All hands,
you need to
prepare
get
for
a
phase jump.
small, focused, cohesive team, hungry and ready to operate, and have them working their way to a dominant position where they can
Civilian research tier complete.
make something unique and fun, like that game Balatro, I guess it's called. I took a look at that. It's actually an interesting game in concept, though it is absolutely like zero interest to me. Like, I have zero interest in that game.
All hands.
It's just, I'm not a
prepare
big
for
card
phase
game guy in
jump.
general, and that thing looks
Research rate
like
upgrade
nothing I would want to wrap my mind around at this moment. Maybe later on I'll pick it up when I get a different sense of gaming going on. But right now, I'm really locked in city
Civilian
builders,
structure complete.
cyberpunk, and strategy games. And this one is definitely on my list of recent favorites. Like, it is
Military research
crazy
tier
how
complete.
fun this game is, despite its
Civilian
simplistic
structure
visuals.
complete.
And to be fair, like, it isn't like super high end, but I'm having a great time, and
This should be a routine combat mission.
I'm having a great time conquering galaxies.
Civilian structure complete.
I definitely recommend for the first time you play this, so you play it on easy mode against easy level AI, because I'm telling you right now, trying this on hard mode, the AI is ruthless, vindictive, and absolutely unrelenting. I have watched as they have sacrificed entire armies to break a defense line just so they could get a handful of heavy cruisers through and just start wrecking your shit. Like, they will send thousands of corvettes at you to try and just decimate you. And with the game's supply system, you can have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of corvettes.
Military
Because
structure complete.
each corvette on their own, like the light corvettes, 12 of them is like 60, so that's like 5 apiece. So you could have 1,000. Now, it would take
Military
you
structure complete.
a while to build that force up, but you would have 1,000. But yeah, like, finding the right combinations, finding the right methodologies to win, finding a good
Hostile forces
strategy,
have arrived.
that's this game's core, like, focus. That's what I love about it. It's like, hey, you want to test your skills in the universe? Well, then you better be ready for a fight, because they are going to be coming hard. And see, now I've got the shield generator, so I can put advanced shields and planetary shields on my system, which means that you could not attack my
You got
my
the full
world
weight of a star
without
base at your
tearing down
disposal.
my
Can I
battle
do
stations.
Military
You
structure
wanna-
complete.
You want to take my world? I'm gonna make you pay. I will make you pay in blood. So yeah, my
Where
strike
do you
force
need
has just basically bulldozed its way in and is now tearing away at this thing with absolutely unhinged levels of damage. Between us and the Expeditionary Fleet support team, I'd say we're doing pretty good.
Military research complete. Our planet is under siege.
The item is ready.
Let the bidding commence.
Ah, see? Clever. Except for them, there's a slight problem.
You've got the full weight of a star base at your disposal.
They're attacking my planet, but in short order, that planet will be invincible, and these boys are just going to tear this thing to pieces. Oh, and this has a garrison feature, too. It has a garrison support force. So there's a garrison on the planet at all time, and as the enemy attacks us, as they destroy ships, the garrison builds back up. So I'm always producing more forces, and the garrisons operate independently of my main supply. So it makes them very handy if you're playing defensive the way I am. Now, garrison forces typically tend to be made up of mostly weaker ships, corvettes, cruisers, that kind of thing. But combined with a fully effective, fully deployed military defense unit, my boys will tear through that no trouble. They're a minor concern. But yeah, I've just been thinking about how the gaming industry kind of forgot that the whole point was like creating that enjoyment, creating that fantasy of like, I want to conquer the galaxy. Okay, here's a chance. Try conquering the galaxy against different levels of enemies or other players or what have you. It's something that the industry is kind of lost, is that they forget that small players, especially small gaming groups usually prefer
Ahead slow.
to have something like a... They want a game that's going to give them that raw, unfiltered, sort of crazy enjoyment. Be it a slow-paced strategy game or a hot action game. They want something that's going to let them have that fantasy.
We have wiped out an
It's
enemy
why
colony.
It's why I
A
absolutely...
new colony has been founded.
That's why I grew to absolutely loathe... what's it called? Grand Theft Auto.
Military research
I hate
complete.
Grand Theft Auto now. And I shouldn't, because like it's not Grand Theft Auto's fault. But I really do despise Grand Theft Auto. And the reason I despise Grand Theft Auto is it became the very thing it used to be opposed to. It became a game that really was too tame for its own good. Like, too
Defense
too
upgrade
tame,
complete.
too boring.
The item is ready.
You know, all this hubbub about,
Reporting in.
you know, all this hubbub about all these other games, and it's like, nah, this isn't working. This isn't fun. This isn't
Civilian
enjoyable.
structure complete.
Why are you making games that are boring? And end of the day, I think that's kind of what crippled the bigger game industry, is they forgot that the whole point of these games is to be entertaining. And they aren't anymore. I'm having more fun with this than I did ever playing GTA 5 or 6. And that's...
Where do you need me?
Hostile forces
I
have
say that...
arrived.
Brace for combat.
I say that as someone who... My favorite open world game of all time is Saints Row. You know, it's like... Saints Row didn't forget what made it fun until the reboot. And everybody told Volition that was a bad idea. And they didn't listen. And what happened? The reboot failed monstrously.
Civilian structure
And is now
complete.
a laughingstock, a
Commerce upgrade
joke.
complete.
It's a joke. No one takes it seriously anymore. No one. And I feel so sad because it's like, there was a time
All
once
hands, prepare for phase jump.
where you could have...
Item is ready.
There's a time where you could have had real, honest to goodness, like, you know, progress on the gaming front, and they threw it away chasing trends and fads that didn't exist. Oh, look. That enemy fleet that thought it was going to break through my defenses is now sitting there stuck in my system, swarmed and dead. Pathetic. Trying to take
Military
my
structure complete.
home base. Wanted to take one of my bases, would you?
Our fleet is under attack.
I've got your back. Reporting in.
Military research complete.
Ahead slow.
So now I can continue with more research. And all these
Military
are
structure complete.
additions to my existing armaments and systems, which gives every single ship in my fleet more power. And experimental design is the one I kind of want. Because if I got to the max level, I could deploy the Titan. The Titan's the one I want, but it's going to be hard to get
Mining
there.
upgrade complete.
How can I be of service? Can I do out? How can I be of service? A sound plan.
But anyway, I'm going to pause it here. This video's been me rambling a little bit too long, but if you're looking for something with a little bit more slower, controllable pace, and I do say that literally because you can control the pace of the game right here. But if you do want something with a little bit more slower, focused pace, this is a great game for that. I don't know about Steam Deck compatibility, though I'd imagine it's not really designed for it because it is, after all, a, you know, mouse and keyboard type game. But still, I can run it with a mouse pretty well. So I imagine if you had the right configuration, you could run it on the Steam Deck pretty well. But anyway, I'm gonna cut here, but I'll probably be back this coming weekend with another video. I'm gonna be trying out some
Military structure complete.
other stuff. And I have a special item, a retro item coming up that I want to share with
Let
y'all,
the
so
bidding
we'll see how that
commence.
goes. But I will see you all next time. This is the Solo Gamer. You can call me Matt, and I will see you next time. Take care.